What up, what up, what up, what up? It's the Big Stepper Podcast. You already know. It's your boy Dub.
Jay the
my
Bull.
man, Jay the Bull. All right, it's episode 2. Feeling real good right now about that. How you feeling, Jay?
I'm good, man. We got a good reception with episode 1. Ready to get episode 2 started. Looking good.
All right, anything new?
Nothing much new. But I would just like to say thanks to everybody for supporting. We're opening some more opening up to some more content. We're going to start doing interviews in a couple of weeks, so look out for that.
Interviews on the way.
Basically, we're just going to highlight some people that we find to be
very interesting
and moving to inspire different people.
Right.
Because the big thing about Big Steppers is that our philosophy is just stepping in your own way, making your own way, like stepping your own way of life. And So we're going to highlight people who are curving out their own lanes in life and just getting started, and maybe they can inspire some other people and give them some ideas. So that's something we're going to be touching on and giving you guys soon. So look out for that.
Definitely. Nothing new this week. I don't mean to ask twice.
Word, bro.
Yeah,
man, ain't besides what's going on in the news, I'll try to stay out of the news. So.
Hell yeah, I don't watch the news too much. A lot of people call it fake news.
I personally try.
Oh, you want to stay out of the news yourself?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah, me too.
I'm boring, so I'm not doing anything.
Listen,
I don't want to be on the news either.
Only time I'm trying to be on the news if I did something good, but
But as far as actually what's on the news, it's been a lot to pay attention to. We're gonna get into that a little bit later on.
Definitely.
But so you brought my attention to something. You text me, our man. Well, he's not really my man. I don't really. I'm indifferent to the game. I don't know how Zach got for. He's a good rapper.
The rapper, the game.
Yeah, the rapper, the game. Dove had hit me up and it was kind of similar to what we've been talking about last podcast, which was the dating situation. And basically, he added some more, context to the toxic traits. But it's not really a toxic trait. I don't think it's nothing wrong with what he said. It's just like how he tried to say it. And what was it again?
Basically, he started touching on the situation where, men paying all the bills, basically.
Right. Exactly.
Which is cool if that's how you and your partner decide to do things, albeit, but it's not, I guess, technically for everybody. I wouldn't say it's for everybody, so I can't really speak on it. I haven't been there yet. But it's just sometimes coming from him, it's like, it's the game, Who wants to listen to him? He contradicts himself on a day-to-day basis. And it's coming from rich guys sometimes.
Yeah, that's the part for me. It's like, bro, you've been rich since you were like he's 41, right?
Right. He's 40.
He's been popping, was popping in the early 2000s, which means you got to say he's at least 20 years in the game, which means also that he was about 20-something when he got rich. So it's really easy for you, the game, to be like, yeah, you should be paying all your girls' bills because, nigga, like, you had it for a long time. Of course you should be paying all your girl bills. And the one thing I have to say about that mindset is that it comes from a time where it was a lot more plausible for a man to be going to work and for his woman to be staying at home. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we live in what's the word?
What you mean?
Like when it goes up, inflation. We live in inflation.
Okay.
It's been quite an inflation since then, and pay has not changed much drastically. So it's not really as easy for just a single parent to go out or a single husband to go out and provide for a household, especially if you have kids.
Right.
Like, so it's just like, it's a weird statement to say like, oh, you're not a man. Like, bro, like, the cost of adjustment. A millionaire can say that, but it's like, even like, let's say if you were making good money, like what's good money? I guess you would say like over 100,000 a year. If you was making over 100,000 a year, and you got your house, you got your cars, and all that.
My question to you is, if you were making 6 figures, I'm not saying you don't, but if you
Right.
were making 6 figures, would you do it?
Would I take care
All the
like
bills.
if it was comfortable?
It was doable.
Like,
Comfortable.
that's the thing. It's like that's the point I was leading to. Like, is it comfortable anymore for that type of lifestyle? As far as
Right.
like, because here's the thing. Once we do start making a certain money, we want to start doing certain things. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to live below your means. You're probably going to be living above your means.
True.
So,
I mean, yeah, true.
So with that being said, she probably got to go to work.
No. I mean, I believe in the working woman. You know.
Oh yeah,
me
I definitely
personally.
do.
Like, that's because that's what I was brought up under. So you know, all my life I was raised around women that work hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Providing and stuff like that. So naturally, I became a provider because I was raised by one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much everything that my mom ever did, it bounced off on her and it got to me. So I became, such like a provider early. Not typically. It's not like a typical situation. Like I provided for my family as a whole.
Okay.
It sounds weird because I'm not like the oldest or nothing like that, but I did a lot of providing for different situations in the family. But when it comes to like a man and woman situation, for example, I want to do it. It is a plan of mine. I haven't done it yet.
Right.
But I think sometimes.
And shout out to any man that's taking care of his family, because that's definitely, a good look in all counts. My problem is the game is just making it sound like if a woman wants to put her, put some input or put some money to the table. When he say, I wish we had the quote, because he said something crazy about, it was something he said afterwards too that was crazy. He said something about, I guess you want her to give you what did he say? Half-ass pussy or something.
Yeah.
He was tripping.
It's not like, I don't think many dudes really believe in 50-50. I even seen a quote like, most men want to take care of their woman and cater to them. I want to do it all, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's levels to everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always wanted to do it. I think I tried it, and it was, I did a good job for the most part. But as far as the bills go, for me personally, even if you don't start off by doing it, I think every man has a certain aspiration to probably be able to cover everything at some point.
Right.
Like, say, for example, you start off with somebody, you're not paying everything at first.
Right.
But as time goes past, you're eliminating more stress off of that person also. But it shouldn't be stress, though. If y'all both comfortable, it shouldn't be stress.
The way we do it in my relationship is that, like, we if I have the money for
Right.
a bill, I'm going to pay it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because
definitely.
she'll end up using her money on the other things anyway, like
Right.
stuff the kids need. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
definitely.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like either way, it's a partnership. Even if I am paying all the bills,
bro.
if I pay all the bills in the house, I'm not paying for everything. So it's still like she still has to help, or it will be easier if she helps. Of course,
Right. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I paid all the bills. I didn't.
Right.
We both paid bills. We
both
both had.
paid,
both had some good. Pretty much a good job.
Right.
Now I did stuff like I did all the other stuff too. I didn't pay all the bills, but I made sure I tried to do as much pampering as I could. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I do believe in. Spoiling a woman, because especially if you get a woman that has been spoiled, it's hard to be like, well, I can't spoil you. Because that person is used to that. So it's hard. So guys get put in a lot of positions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I spoil my family, I would say. I got sisters and stuff like that.
Do women care about how they're treated anymore? Or is it all about the bag?
It's 50-50 out here,
It just seemed like it's the bag for like.
Think so?
Like, I don't know. It's starting to be.
You haven't been dating
like,
lately.
Yeah, I haven't been dating lately. So please fill me.
I'm gonna say I run into different situations. I run into women that that's what they care about up front. I run into women that haven't. For me, I never had no situation really where I got rejected because I didn't have enough money or nothing like that. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I got a good job and stuff like that. I got stuff that I'm working on that I got going on and all that. But as far as I don't make 6 figures, I ain't going to get on here and tell a lie. But I got promise, and I don't have like no real issues financially or anything like that. So if you get a person, a man in his 20s that's pretty much financially stable, his head is on straight, and he's willing, then I think you should be able to work with that as a woman.
Right.
But a lot of women, they kind of want everything to be already there when you get there.
Right.
Which is, it can be that way. It's a gift and a curse sometimes. Sometimes it's like that, sometimes it's not. I don't look for women that got it all figured out. Of course, you want them to have certain things figured out, But you don't want them to like just come everything right, because then you look at them like, all right, this is a little too good to be true. Sometimes we're not that damn old. Some women do got everything, figured out.
But what is everything figured out? Because I mean, are women not even financially stable? Because that's not the ones that's looking for it. Like I feel like the independent woman, she's not. I mean, I don't really know what she looking at. I don't think.
Shit, I love independent women. So
right, exactly.
I love a woman that of course you want to add to her, but don't like be out with your hand out. I don't like the handout thing. I never had too many situations like that. I had a few where somebody might have went across the board or asked a little something too crazy too soon, or even down the line. But as far as
are you intimidated about women who make more money than you?
No, hell no.
No?
Hell no, no. I mean, as a kid, well, like when I was younger, I used to think about stuff like, I don't never want a girl or my woman to make more than me, but the way the wage and everything is set up, you never know, because a lot of women have businesses also.
Right.
So if you're a guy that just got a 9 to 5, but your woman has one too with a business on the side, 9 times out of 10, she's gonna make more than you. But you can always make up.
Black women business acumen has like soared over the last couple of years.
Hell yeah,
these
I
black
love
women out here are creating their own businesses left and right, and they successful too.
Yo, I encourage it. Like any woman that I run into and they tell me they like got a business or anything like that going on, I just kind of be like championing them the whole time.
Definitely.
Because to me it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't always like this.
Moves.
Yeah, big step of moves. I champion them all, man. It's amazing.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
Shout out to the ladies
out there doing their thing.
Ultimately, though, with the bill splitting, though, it's okay if you do it. It's about everybody's situation working out for them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I haven't been in a situation where I had to pay everything yet. I'm sure it's gonna probably happen, because that's something that I don't mind doing. Something that I do want to do, because I feel like at some point in my life I'm gonna have it. So I'm gonna take care of everything that I can. I mean, she got a car note, I ain't paying that probably, but I'm talking about the bills, utilities, and stuff like that. Yeah. If I get to where I want to be, when I get where I want to be in life, I think I'm gonna handle everything.
Right.
That's my ultimate goal. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be able to do it up front, but that's my ultimate goal. Right. So I mean, when people say stuff, cool, the game say a lot of stuff that we don't agree with. People say stuff, the way they say it is like kind of wacky, but I think most guys probably in their heart of hearts would want to do it.
The funny thing about it is that when rappers or celebrities or anything speak on like relationship and stuff, we gotta just look at it as like they're in a whole different world.
Yeah.
Like they're not like the whole thing that Sweetie did a couple months ago about if you're not with a dude that could get you a Birkin, then he. I mean, like it's like they can't possibly be talking to us.
I mean, even if you get in $200,000 to $300,000 a year, I mean, the chance of me buying you a $40,000 bag is still slim to none.
$40,000 bag.
I mean, that's how much the price tag I was hearing about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
I mean, I'm not. Listen,
I'm happy I'm not with a wife.
I don't mind buying bags, but I ain't buying
that
a burger.
Type of stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind though.
A property. She wants.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do the. I told you, bro. When I get another situation, I want to do the whole 9. Like, I want to invest in all that good stuff. So, and the person, you know what I'm saying? And I want the person to invest in me. They don't got to be their money or whatever, but their time, their ears to hear and all that. But we young. We still not 30 yet. We got a long way to go. Ultimately, I think everybody should focus on what they have going on in their household and make it work to the best of their ability.
Right.
Kill all the outside noise, because that's how people get affected. Hear all this stuff on the internet. They want to live like this or do that. But sometimes it's a slow grind, slow process. As long as you feel like that person is striving to be the best they can be and do what they got to do, you should rock with them.
You should rock with them. I agree with that. Yeah. A lot of stuff going on in the news this week.
Definitely.
The state coming back. Unfortunately. Well, actually, the last week started off with a resolve of an old situation, which is the Derek Chauvin. Is it Chavez?
Something like that, yeah.
Derek Chauvin case. But in the middle of that case, while we were days away from the verdict, a young man was shot in his car. I forgot. Dante White, right? Yeah. And then after the verdict, like literally, I think the day after the verdict, Ma'Khia Bryant was killed. She was fighting outside of her foster mother's home and was shot by the cops.
I just don't understand, man.
Derek Wright was shot in his car trying to leave the scene. So let's start with Derek. Um, Lengthy. Well, not really a lengthy trial, but it went on for about a week. Overwhelming evidence. If you hear otherwise,
very
you're listening to the
overwhelming.
wrong people. Like it's weird because like you swear that everybody's on the same accord with certain things. Like anybody who could look at something like that and be like, "Yo, that's straight up murder," and you almost look at it as like 2 plus 2. Like everybody understand that that's 4. But days from the verdict, you still had some people saying that it might not be a guarantee, that he might not go to jail. But ultimately, those people were wrong. Of course, they were wrong.
Hell yeah, they were wrong.
Derek went to jail. So, how did you feel about the verdict leading up to it and afterwards?
I mean, as far as the verdict itself, bro, I'm happy that, of course, he got charged on all 3.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Didn't see that coming.
I didn't. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see it.
I thought I knew he was going to get one or one or 2.
So it makes you feel good, especially as a black brother.
Right.
Makes you feel good because justice needs to be served as a whole, but that small little portion right there did feel good for the time being. Of course, overall, it's a lot of work.
You said for the time being, so was that because in the middle of us getting that verdict, another situation was happening? Because that'd be the unfortunate part of it. Like
that's part
of
it.
The shit is so frequent and
Right.
it happens so much that we can't even, settle in on a victory because literally while it's going on, we have one case that's getting started and another one currently happening. So
Right.
it's just it was a small victory for me. Leading up to it, the trial, I feel like when it was like I was at work when they said they were about to say the verdict. When I got home, it was just about to happen. So it was like the closer we got to it, the more nervous it was getting because everybody was like, this is it. If he gets off, the riots are back on. It's gonna be
Bro,
crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Was,
I was in the crib. I worked that day. I worked from home, whatever. So I worked that day, and I think we was texting that day.
Right.
I seen a portion of it, but it's just the thought of it. Like I didn't know where it was going to go because I already knew, like if they ain't, charge him at all, it definitely would have got crazy.
I felt like it was. I feel like the energy in the air is what made everybody feel nervous. Because to be honest, I was sure Derek was going to jail.
Right.
I think the movement was too strong after the initial incident. I felt like it was just too big of a case to not go the way it needed to go.
Right.
But I think when we saw that buildings were getting boarded up, windows and cops were being called, and barricades were being set up. It made it like a setting of get prepared for what's coming next.
I mean,
so that kind of shook my faith in the verdict. Like, well, damn, is he about to get off? Which is kind of crazy because also about like people were claiming, like even after the verdict came out, people are so willing to deny the severity of these situations that they thought people were still going to go out and riot even after the verdict came out
crazy
the way we wanted. Let that sink in. So they really think that
right.
That this shit happens just because we want sneakers, we want TVs, like. And I'm not saying like
some of us do.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot of the rioters are exactly that, opportunists. They're taking the opportunity of a tragedy for their own selfish gains. But I'm not going to focus on that.
But that's why I feel like. But that is one of the reasons why I feel like the first time it happened, it was kind of like, what I'm saying? They just it happened and then nothing changed since.
The reason why I don't focus on the rioters is because it's like, to me, focus on the rioters in a situation like a George Floyd situation is like focus on getting wet in a thunderstorm. Like the shit is going to happen.
Facts.
Like you're going to get wet. Why were we talking about the rioters when literally we could be figuring out why the shit happens in the first place? And now that y'all see that when the justice does come out the way it needs to be, that nothing happens, I don't want to hear that bullshit no more. It should. I mean, but I'm still going to hear it because this is what y'all rather think. Y'all rather think that these things are not important to us and not important to these to our people, but it is.
I mean, it's important. I mean, when the first riot happened, bro, I was like lost a little bit because of just just the way they did some of our people's stuff.
Yeah,
that was the only thing that
that's
made
what,
me
and I get
upset,
it, and that's why I'm not condoning it. In no way I
Right.
condone it, but I'm not going to keep getting mad at reactions.
I mean,
You know, for every action, there's a reaction.
definitely.
So you can't really like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ever heard the special crying over spilled milk? Let's
Yeah,
stop spilling
that's
the
real.
milk.
That's real.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's stop getting to the point where people are allowed to riot or can use the anger of other people to use for their opportunity to riot. And
Hell
loot.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These things wouldn't happen if you were really focused on the problem at hand. And I get
But
irritated.
they never focus at the problem at hand.
Bro, and I get irritated because I have
issue.
people on my timeline who every time this type of shit happen, that's all they talk about. You know, they always look at Aramingo boarded up. Look at our stores. Look at our neighborhood. Look what they're doing. But not one post about what happened. They say all that bullshit, but I don't hear not one post or see not one post about the tragedy of somebody losing their life who wasn't doing anything or anything to deserve to lose their life.
When tragedy
You know what I'm
happens, the actual person who it happens to most of the time, they talk little about them and more about the surrounding stuff that's going on.
Right.
Like, you know, people, like they died, but he died, but such and such happened, and this happened, and that happened.
And let's be clear, the only people I do care about in those riots are the small shop owners and the ones that neighborhood. Fuck Target, Walmart, them motherfuckers is billionaires. They can get all that shit right back. I don't care. I don't care about any of that stuff. I mean, I do care. I mean, like some people be like, huh?
So watch out, we might need a sponsor. I'm messing with you.
Right. Let me not mess up the bag before we even get it. But I'm just saying,
No, I understand though. I'm messing with you, but
it's just like they're easy for them to get back. They right back at it. Target be right back up. Walmart be right back up.
What about the employees though?
They'll be right back at work. They get a couple of days off.
If you work at any of those places,
I don't do the looting thing.
Yeah, I'm cool off.
So I'm cool off that. So I don't have much to say on it because I don't partake in. The part that I do want to speak on and partake on is the injustices that keep happening to people that look like me.
Whoa.
And so, as long as that's the problem, then rioting should still be a problem. Fuck it.
Hey, I'm all for the rioting, bro. I mean, shit, why not? I'm not going to act like I've been out there yet, but I plan.
He's at that. He's like, one day they might get me out there.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to happen. I mean, because this shit is not stopping no time soon. So I feel like at some point I'm gonna have to ride with my people out there.
Man, it's do sound like it's coming close. So what you think about? I know I'm gonna let you go first on this because my opinion is a little. I don't want to say it's out there, but I think I'm on the opposite side of most people, or a lot of people. But what you think about what happened to the young lady, Makia?
I think you should go first, bro.
You want me to go
first?
first?
I mean, I don't know. So you should go first on this one.
I'm pretty sure everybody heard about it.
Plus,
just to give a recap, there was a young lady who got into a fight. She was 16 years old against another group of young ladies, and apparently these girls jumped her in front of her house or whatever. The details are still a little sketchy because I've heard something about maybe that she was fighting a foster sister or something.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah.
So,
which is kind of crazy. Like,
yeah, right.
I mean, maybe a little.
It might have even been an inner domestic thing. Like, I think she might have been fighting somebody who also lived there because that's something that's been kind of leaking out. But basically, she got into a fight. The cops were called either by her or her mother. And then by the time the cops got there, the young lady had proceeded to start attacking people with a knife. She had attacked, from what the video shows, you see her attack one girl who falls to the ground. Then a gentleman, a dude in the back ends up trying to take some stomps at her.
Right.
The one that fell. And then Makia went to forgive me if I'm saying her name wrong, but Makia then went to go strike another female up against a car. And that's where I think things get kind of screwy, a little less black and white.
Right.
Because for one, what makes this case odd or different than these standard injustice shootings is that the cop was not trying to protect himself. So we can't say that he was scared of losing his life or, he felt threatened. Like, basically, he was trying to save another person's life.
I would give him that.
So when the outburst first happened, and this was, like I said, I think it was the exact same day George Floyd wrote it verdict.
Damn.
I feel like it was the same day as the verdict, but it was definitely like either the next day or the same day. It was a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I think it was like coming hot off of that. People really grabbed hold of the story and started the narrative of here we go again. And I'm not saying it's not here we go again, because I have a problem with the system in general. I have a problem with the way that police are allowed to police. I do understand that he was trying to save a life, but is it still necessary for cops to shoot people multiple times to stop them to do easy things?
Hell no.
Easy answer, no. I mean,
no.
4 times to drop one woman, like one female body, like
hit her in the right spot where she might take a fall and do what else you gotta do. Like, she doesn't have a gun, you do, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
at the end of the day, they always take it too far.
It's always too far. And I think if we did see this I would look at it even a little more different if it was just a single shot and she might have died, because it was just like he was trying to get her to stop the pursuit of attack. Right. So, I said something about shooting in the leg or arms, but they say, cops are not trained to be that accurate, and they train them to shoot at the body.
Why not? I don't get that.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
Train them. I mean, I get it. The logic is that the body is the biggest area, so they train them to shoot where you're most likely going to hit. But at the same time, I see regular hits online who can hit a target 50 feet with a pistol. Yeah. Like, train these. Train them.
I don't
just train these motherfuckers, bro. Like they're cops. Like, they all, and then people always talk about this. Always go back to what people say, like that. Why is it that the cops have such a short amount of training experience? Like, I think it takes 6 months to 6 to 8 months to be a cop.
I think something like that. Don't quote me.
Yeah, something like that. It's not very long. It's not a long process. Maybe they could be using that as to start teaching them how to handle certain situations. Maybe the second year of being a cop, or if you want to make it take 2 years to be a cop, or make just something. Yeah, something got to change where
they can have them take those classes on their own, like required for you to do that on the side.
Yeah, man.
Something has to be done because, first of all, they shoot too many times. That's number one.
And if you notice about the things that people have the most problems with in this society, it's always the things that took or hasn't changed in about 100 years. Like, nothing have changed about policing in 100 years.
Nothing.
That's crazy.
Nothing.
Like, that doesn't make sense because so much have changed in our world. Our technology, the way we think, the way we dress, the way we are. Like, how is it that we keep moving forward as a society, but the things that hold society together stays the same? School, policing, prisons.
Shit, bro, the way they act, man.
Jobs.
We might as well have RoboCop out here.
It's crazy. Like, even wages. We can't get minimum wage up. Like,
man,
how is this stuff
possible? For years now.
Like, this is crazy. Like, this society will collapse. Like, if we don't start advancing the way that we're advancing,
because everything's not the same thing.
Every other area, because that's the thing. It's like the only places that are allowed to expand is anything to do with capitalism, anything to do with money.
Yeah.
But when it comes to things we need for general survival,
right? Like
police reform, school education,
and I agree. I agree with you said about the situation with the young girl. Like, not that he shot her, is the amount of times. Like, I don't want, in my heart of hearts, thinking about a girl getting shot, a 16-year-old getting shot. Yeah. It's crazy regardless. What she did was wrong.
But I'm just trying to look at it as a split decision. And, you know, if you're trying to save a life and
Yeah.
that's
I
somebody
get
else.
that part
The
of
way
it.
you look at it, no matter, you know, rest in peace to her, but that was somebody else's daughter that she could have potentially took out. So I understand where the cop logic might have been, but the way they're trained to handle these things is the problem itself.
And I don't want people who like, you know, because I know cops personally also, but a few. But you know, I don't know, because sometimes people say stuff on the internet, and you know, a person that's a cop might take it to, you know, and I don't know how they feel about that stuff, especially guys that's inner city, you know, because it don't really happen like the white on black shootings don't really happen that much in Philadelphia like it does, like how we see it on the news. But I know it affects some of these guys. It has to.
I mean, to be honest, if we're talking Philadelphia, most of the bad cop skirmishes that people have in the streets that I know it, they be black cops.
Yeah.
There's a lot of black cops in Philly,
respect.
and it's you know, they're a lot of times they're the ones that are acting as aggressive or even more aggressive than the white ones.
I can attest to that. You know what I'm saying? They are, and I don't understand because, you know, most of them came up in the same neighborhoods, areas as, you know, we did. But for example, like when dudes are becoming cops now, they send them to the worst areas, bro.
Yeah.
Like I know a guy personally. He became a cop, and I started seeing him in the Southwest.
Okay.
Like a place where, you know, you just don't want to be on a daily basis. They always doing crazy stuff around there. And it's like, damn, they put you out here, bro?
Yeah.
From the rip? Like, damn. You know, I would see him out there. I just was shaking my head like, damn. But, you know, yeah.
Has his opinion? Because here's the thing, like, it's who it's part of who they let become cops, but it's also who cops once they become police officers, who they become.
True.
Because just because a cop is black doesn't mean he doesn't contribute to the racial discrimination.
Hell no, they don't.
Because
they look at that
because that's the thing. It's a learned culture and cop culture of how to handle certain people. And I just feel like the way they're taught, or the way I don't know if they're taught this way, but the way they go about handling people in certain neighborhoods, it needs to be adjusted. There needs to be some accountability for when it goes left, like in general, no matter what color the cop is. And I think, you know, and that's why I say the media, like, it's kind of crazy because I feel like the media looks for those. They look for the cop who shot the black person, even though, you know, I'm pretty sure you can find plenty of black on black crime inside cops, like a black cop doing something, but you don't already hear about those. They only want to put it on Good Morning America when it's a racial situation, but it's a cop situation. You know, especially like I said in Philadelphia, like plenty of people that told me that the black cops in Philadelphia, they be tripping.
They ones to do all the stuff.
They're the ones that really go in
crazy
on
stuff, man. They be tripping, man. Especially when they stop you in the wheel, man. It'd be like, some stuff be like, yo, bro, are you serious right now, man? They want to get all
I think
aggressive. Have you ever wanted to be a cop? Is that ever crossed your mind?
You know what's crazy? I didn't never exactly wanted to be a beat cop, but I wanted to be SWAT at one point when I was a young.
SWAT is cool.
SWAT is dope. Like when I was a young boy, I just wanted to kick in doors and shit. And
actual city cop though, I never
wanted to be a city cop, but I wanted to be a SWAT. But now I don't want to do none of that. I mean, SWAT is who killed Breonna Taylor, so they're all cops. That's what actually stopped me from wanting to be a SWAT member. I felt like you had to be a cop to be like you had to.
Still have some armed services aspirations, but just not to that magnitude. I mean, I remember my dad was in a hospital a few years ago, and he was letting me meet this lady or whatever that he knew.
Right.
And she was like, yo, she told me I was going to be a cop one day. And bro, I just stared at her for like 5 minutes straight because I'm just looking at her like, you have no idea. Not a cop. I would never be an actual cop.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't got to that point where I'm like, I won't say desperate, but I just never got to the point where I thought that being a cop is the best thing for me. I don't have nothing against cops as a whole. Some of them, yes, some no.
I don't have anything against cops. I have homies.
I know some. I got a family member. I got homies. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's what you feel is best for you. Going forward.
I just can't rob by being a cop. Like when I found out that you had to be a cop to be SWAT, the reason why that turned me off is because not particularly because being a cop is such a terrible thing. It's just that what it stands for. Like
especially even on movies, man. You know.
Yeah,
bro. On the movies, they had the dirtiest cops, and at first, when I was young buck, I didn't know that shit was real till I grew up. Like, man, these niggas, this
Yeah,
out
so,
here.
and then it's like that whole like then you hear about that whole no snitching on bad cops thing. And it's like
Corny.
That's corny because it's like y'all look at us sideways when we do the same thing. We don't want to snitch on the homies. Oh, this is why. Well, y'all do the same shit. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy because sometimes they provoke us. I'm not saying like I've been provoked to a point where I had to get put in cuffs or anything like that, but I've been provoked like say some fly shit or something like that.
Right.
But I did my best to like just.
How many times you been stopped by the cops?
I've been in situations like 2 handfuls at least.
2 handfuls.
And I'm 27 going on 28.
Wow.
Different situations, for different,
1, 2, 3. I think I've been stopped at least a handful. Maybe 2 handfuls. It's like when you had from teenager years. One time I was
definitely got
one time I was
killed.
stopped and almost arrested on prom, the day of my prom.
Dog?
Yeah, I almost got arrested on prom. I had all the
What's that going on, man?
we were allowed to leave early because it was prom. So we left at like 12. My homeboy.
Oh, truancy.
Truancy.
Oh man.
Right. So I'm
man.
going around. Literally, my man dropped me off. He lived around the corner from me. He dropped me off. Well, he dropped off. He left. My bad. We stopped at his house, and I just walked around to my house. So I'm walking around from his house to mine. I'm literally a block away, and a cop is coming up the block. He caught my attention because he was coming up the wrong way. Like it was a one-way street, but he was coming the opposite way. So I'm looking, he looked at me, I looked at him. He went past me, thought none of it. Next thing I know, he's backing up. What do you want? What are you doing? Long story short, I'm just trying to explain myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting off early. It's prom tonight, blase, whatever. Dumb mistake on my behalf. Never do this, kids. I start to take off my book bag to show him my prom ticket because he doesn't seem like he wants to let me. I explained it to him.
Right.
He's still sitting in front of me as if what I'm saying is not registered. So I started to go into my book bag to get the prom invitations.
Oh man.
And that set him off. Hand on gun now. He's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, my bad, bro.
Young mistake.
I'm just trying to show you my invites. I show him my invites. He sees the invites. He sees the date. The date is literally the fucking date that we're on. It's today. Tonight, right? He says, get up against the car. And grabs me by the arm and tries to throw. This is the other hilarious thing. As you can see, I'm a big guy. Been a big guy. He tries to slam me on the car and he barely moves me.
Oh, I know his pride was hurt.
His pride was super hurt. So he looked at me and was like, dude, don't make this like he trying to now he want me to sympathize for him. Like, don't make me do this. Don't make you do what? Like, why are you even trying to do this? I don't understand why you're checking.
On there, right?
Sidebar. Because it's prom, I have a whole pocket full of weed on me.
Damn.
So I'm like, yo, what? Like, I'm really in a situation right now. Like, and it's enough. Like, this is way before it was ever like close to being legal. So I'm like, I'm going to jail.
Oh, what year you graduate?
2010.
All right, year before
so
me,
it was before he was illegal in Colorado.
Hell
This is legal days, and so I'm like, yo, I'm about to get booked. I can't let him search me, and which is what he was trying to do. That's why he's trying to slam me up against the car. I refused to let him without explanation. I'm like, what did I do wrong? He's like, you're not in school. You're supposed to be in school. I said, well, take me back to school. Right. He said, no, actually, he offered. He was like, well, I'm going to take you back to school. I said, do that. I wanted to do anything but check my pockets. So I'm like, yeah, take me back to school. So then he's like, dude, don't let me do it. He's like, what are you like? So then he's like, well, what you got on you, man? Like, clearly you got something on you because you're fighting me too hard on this. He's like, what you got? Weed, dope, crack. And I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Damn, you took it to the next level.
And we're talking about dope and crack. I know weed ain't shit. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I got weed. So he's like, all right, what you got? A dime bag? A nick bag? I'm like, yup. He's like, you're busting my balls for that? I'm like, I'm scared, sir. No. Mind, I had like at least $90 worth of weed.
What part of the city was this?
This is the neighborhood I used to live in. This is I don't know, I'm Blake at Castor. This is up like
Castor Ave.
Yeah, like Harold's Gate, like around like Frankfurt area.
Okay, I got you.
I lived up right off Castor and Frankfurt, like around that area.
Right.
So that's like Harold Gate neighborhood. So I'm like, yo, like, so he's like, yeah, so what you got, a dime or a nickel? I'm like, yeah, I got a nick bag on me. He's like, you giving me all this for a nick bag? I'm like, yeah. I'm scared.
You gotta play it now.
So then I executed one of the slickest tricks I could think of, which was dig my hand in my pocket, open it. I had a Ziploc bag with a bunch of nick bags, like they were already in cell.
I know what you did. Yeah.
I had got it from my man's, by the way.
Yeah,
because he used to sell it, but he just gave me like a bunch already bagged up.
I've been in a situation like that. I wasn't even smoking it, but go ahead.
So I somehow put my hand in my pocket, open the Ziploc bag inside of my pocket.
Took a little one out.
Took one.
Oh, you did it.
Nick bag out and gave him the one Nick bag and said, "Here, this is what I got." And he was like, "This is all, man. Here, take that back." I'm like, "No, I don't want that bags out because I."
Right,
like, all right, bro, I ain't trying. That's a trap. Like, to me, he could have been like, "Oh, you gonna take it back? You're going to jail." Yeah. So I was like, "No, I don't want it." He like, "I'm just gonna flush it down the sewer. I'm just gonna toss it in the sewer." I'm like, "Well, go ahead. I just want to go home." So then, you know, he lets me out because at this point I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, not cuffed or anything, but he set me back there because he was taking me back to school. So he ended up leaving me alone, and I walked home, and I got to go to prom that night. But it almost didn't happen, all because and what make I don't like my situation with that situation. I guess that the best case scenario happened, but a lot of what goes through my mind is why did it happen at all? You know, if I'm just trying to imagine if my skin color was different, would it be the same issue? I mean, I had proof.
You really never know.
You know, I wasn't a repeat offense. You know what I'm saying? Why was he so on edge with everything? Like, it was just like, it's crazy, man. That was actually like one of my first encounters with the cops, but I had a couple more after that, and they all just pretty much the same. Just a lot of suspicion in the air. And I always wonder, and then we see other
cops,
when you see but when you see what other people deal with cops or other people of different races, it seemed to be more of a friendly approach. It seemed to be more of a helping approach, like trying to help this person. I'm not. You know, nobody said I was doing anything in the area. Nobody said I was a threat to anybody. So why are you meeting me with so much hostility? Even if you is truancy. Like, I don't care if you just I mean, we talk about promise. We talk about May, June.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and like, I don't understand. Can you explain why he thought from me showing him those tickets, how did it lead to me about to get my pocket searched? Like, I don't get that part.
So I remember I went to Saul and it's pretty much in Roxborough. Roxborough hated this. So we in that area, so we got out like on a snow day one time. So we had to hike it because we had to hike it to the Wisconsin Transfer Center from Saul. Saul's on Henry Avenue. So we ain't had no GPS really, nothing like that back then. We was we was young bucks. So we see the truancy cops around Roxborough, and they like, "Yo, man," they get out the car all husky and shit, you know. "Yo, man, what y'all doing out here, man?" We like, "Listen, it's snow outside. What does it look like?" You know what I'm saying? My story wasn't as crazy as yours, but basically, ultimately, they did check our book bags and all this extra stuff, man. And it's just like, yo, we're going home. It's snowing. We're going home. Like, what else you think we're doing? We can't get nowhere. We 15.
It's crazy because, like, when you grow up in the neighborhoods that we do, a lot of this stuff is so normalized. You don't even realize, like, how much, like disrespect have you really went through as far as being a person. Like, I remember we had a school fight. In our in the neighborhood of our school,
right?
We happened to have a student. Shout out to him. I don't really remember. What was his name? I wouldn't say his name anyway. But shout out to him. This story stuck with me because it's crazy. But he wasn't even involved in the fight. But he lived close to. So he lived close to the school. So he was always like the first one home. My man had enough time to go home, change his clothes and everything. Right. Come back out, and there's a fight going on in front of his house because that's how close he lived towards the school. We were a little farther from the school, but he lives like down the block. We were closer to his house than we were to the school. He has nothing to do with the fight. I had more to do with the fight than he did because it was people that I knew fighting. He's walking to the store, and the cops show up. And in the middle of the cops, trying to disperse the fight, they start arresting people. He gets caught up. on the way he was on his way in the store. He wasn't even involved in the fight. He's
Damn,
literally
man.
in street clothes. Everybody else has uniforms on. He's the only one in street clothes. I think he even had flip-flops on. He had like ball sneakers or ball shirts on. On his way into the store, he gets grabbed, charged with everybody else. He's not, fighting. My man got caught up. They asked him. They say, everybody get from the bus stop. I was literally waiting for the bus at the bus stop, but they started arresting people at the bus stop. They like, get from the bus stop. So we also getting from the bus stop. My man was in front of me. He asked him, where you going? Where you live? He pointed his finger out like this. He pointed out to show where he lived, and the cuffs went around his arm. Like, he used that opportunity to cuff him. Like, it was just like, and this is like, yo, even as kids, our rights were being violated. Like, it's crazy. Like, how are you just arresting us? We ain't doing shit. And now, and it's not like, it's not like it just was a tactic to disperse a fight and everybody got let go at the end. No, my man got hit with a abuse on, what is it called? Assault on a police officer. Damn. They got charged. They had real charges from this day. And I don't even think anybody that was actually fighting got arrested. It was just like bystanders and, people who didn't go home. A couple people that was involved did get arrested. That's not true. But point is, a lot of people who also got caught up wasn't. And especially the man who had no idea what was going on, was just trying to go to the fucking store. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, how did that happen?
Wrong time, man. I'm sure we all been devoid of that.
Yeah. So just to touch on the Micaiah thing before we move on.
Yes.
It is a tragic situation. I wish it didn't happen.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't think it's as black and white as people are trying to make it seem. I don't think it's as black and white as George Floyd.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
not one of those situations. I don't want to.
If the cop gets charged, which I don't think he will, but if he do, I'm not looking for him to get convicted like how we did with.
Yeah, it's a totally different situation.
The other boy,
or a lot of the other shooters.
A lot of other shooters. It's just too different. What I do want to speak on before we move on though is for the full accountability of the situation, because what I saw out there was two adults that
they didn't make the situation.
They didn't make the situation any better. I mean, as far as I could see, the young lady was out there with a knife before the cops showed up, and they let her proceed to have that knife.
Nothing ever happens. Nothing goes well when somebody has a knife.
Nothing goes well.
It's always it's like if you have.
And I've been seeing it before anybody say anything. I've seen all the videos of all the white dudes who had knives that didn't get killed. I understand all that. Also, those. With inside of all those videos, I didn't see them trying to stab anyone else. One of the videos I did see them try to attack the cop, but that was him trying to attack the cop. Yeah. But when we're talking about somebody trying to save somebody else's life, I feel like this deserves to be in a different area of discussion than what we're talking about as far as police brutality. Right. I think this was a system issue and not an actual police issue.
Systematic. Okay.
The system of how we here's the thing to me. Here's what gets me, right? Who said, all right, it's a fight out here? You know what's missing from this fight? Some white dudes with a gun. Mm-hmm. Like, why call the cops? If y'all was going to fight, if y'all was going to scrap, because here's the thing, if Micaiah was the one that called the cops, or somebody on her side was called the cops, why was y'all outside? Y'all could have been waiting for them in the inside. Wait for them inside the house. Because here's the thing, if you're going to handle your business, handle your business. I believe in street justice. I don't care. Definitely. Like, if you can handle your situation, handle your situation. Yeah. But you can't also involve the cops, too, and then, try to go off while they're in front of you. Yeah. Like, that's ridiculous. And
having your kid
that makes no sense to me. So I think the parents should be held accountable as well. Right. Or whoever that was out there. I don't know I think that was the mother.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. But even the boy White, the cop that, you got the...
Oh, yeah, we didn't really get to speak on Dante White. We kind of get to our next topic, but... Yeah. But even with Dante White, that was crazy. I don't believe her.
It just doesn't make sense. If
you can't mistake a taser for a gun. I'm never going to believe that. At first, I try to wrestle with it and play devil's advocate and just try to imagine in the heat of a moment and making a mistake, and I can't get my head around it. It's not making sense to me. The way. That's a rookie decision mistake, bro. I don't even think I'm not a rookie cop at all. And I don't think I would make that mistake. I'm not a cop, and I don't think I could make that mistake. Like, how do you do that? And then when you hear, but then it completely went out the window when I heard that they even carried a taser on the opposite side of their service weapon. So I'm just kind of,
Yeah.
She sold it.
Full of shit.
She sold that shit though, didn't she?
She did.
Taser. She was selling that motherfucker. She wanted us to believe that was a taser, bro. She was selling that shit. Man, I don't know, bro. Like, and I thought that was a giveaway. I was like, who yells taser before taser?
Oscar.
But apparently they said that's what they're trained to do. Funny how I never heard a cop say that before they tase anybody. I never heard a cop, and there's plenty of videos out there. If y'all seen them, a cop tasing people. I never saw them say taser before using it. But they claim that is a part of their protocol. Never seen it. I find it funny that the one time I seen it, that's when she mixed it up. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, the one time I see a cop yelling taser, it's not a taser. It's
That's a lose-lose situation.
Like, and so, man, RIP to him. And that's just crazy.
I'm sure within the next week or so. I mean, I don't want to say that, but it's always something that happens. So we'll be back on something like that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we're gonna get to our our final and last topic, our biggest topic. It should be cancel culture. Cancel culture, right?
Cancel culture. Yep.
How you feel about cancel culture?
It's not real.
It's not real.
I'm gonna be breaking down why it's not real.
Oh man, break down. It's not real.
Yeah, because it's not real because it's starting to become a divisive,
very, very divisive
tool to pretty much claim that somebody's like either. It's like a claim to say that I'm being picked on, or
right.
Like some people are using it that, and then you got other people that are trying to use it for their benefit. Like, I feel like some of these companies are using what's popular as far as like social matters and stuff like that to put, to evolve it into either their products or their business models. Like, now everybody's saying Black Lives Matter, it ain't a big deal,
Man,
if you
I don't
see
even
Coca-Cola and all them brands, now it's the cool thing to do.
Right.
So with that being said, other companies are now catching on and they're starting to get into their woke behaviors, and now you got things like the Dr. Seuss estate. They stopped selling certain books. You got Mr. Potato Head becoming Potato Head. And Disney cleaning the shop of certain actors and stuff.
Well,
and go ahead.
No,
and I just feel like the reason, like, that's the fake shit to me, because nobody was good. And then what makes me mad about it is that it then leaks out to the world as people are complaining. So you got all these people online talking about, motherfucker too soft now. Can't read Dr. Zeus. They can't do this. And I'm like, who are y'all talking about? Because nobody I know actually was even complaining about any of those things. I think these companies just did it to make some noise, and y'all letting them. Like, it's not a real thing.
Who have you canceled in the past? Anybody in particular?
No. Who should I have canceled?
Who should you have canceled?
Oh, I mean, I guess like R. Kelly and stuff like that.
I don't even mean to laugh at dude, but that's one of the biggest conversations when it comes to canceling. Like,
yeah, right.
That's
R. Kelly and like
it's
Mike,
crazy, bro. Not so much Mike Jackson, because Mike Jackson was never convicted, but R. Kelly, man.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I try to stay away from it. I'm just gonna say it. I try to stay away from the music.
Stay away from it too. Only because the thing, you know why it's hard with R. Kelly? Because the shit is literally about like, when you start listening to the song, you're like, yo, he literally was talking about the shit he was doing. He was telling us what he was doing.
Yo, his music
and the
crazy
songs, bro. Like,
so it's hard to
shout out. Y'all super shout out the older generation. Like, y'all can't really blame that shit on us. I was 9 when Chocolate Factory came out. Y'all was stepping in the name of love to that.
Definitely remember that came out. We did
no, stepping in the name of love was at work. No matter how old I was. I think I was about 9.
You might have been a little older.
Older.
I was, because I was in like 4th or 5th grade, so you're a year older than me. So
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know, but I just remember the talent show. We did it
Yeah.
collectively. You know what I'm saying?
And who didn't love I Believe I Could Fly? And all that
people
stuff.
still
Like,
singing
R.
at
Kelly,
graduation.
I get it. He was a talented nigga, but man.
No, but for the shit that he's done,
bro,
he got to go.
He got to go.
I mean, even watching the show, I just didn't understand half the stuff I was watching. And the parents, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah. Accountability, man.
Especially the fathers, because they had the power. You know, I'm talking about physical power to make change, if you know what I mean. But they did.
I mean, the bull really called himself. When I found out what the Pied Piper was, yo,
crazy.
I was like, yo, Kels is out of me. He a whole savage, though, bro. He said, I'm going to name myself after. What went into that decision making, you think? Like, was it the fact that the internet wasn't really out yet? Like, he been calling himself that since before the internet was really out. So he probably thought that maybe nobody really knew what that was. Nobody ever really know what that is. That he could get away with.
Yeah, man. Google's here now. We can Google anything. Find out what it is.
If anybody don't know, Pied Piper is a old folk tale about a man who lured children away with the flute for whatever reason. And Kelly decided,
The wrestler, the Pied Piper. Was the
Roddy Piper. I don't know if I don't think he was going for the.
I don't think he was going for the same.
He literally played bagpipes, so I don't know if he's going for the same. I don't know if he's going for the same effect as R. Kelly. Yeah. No, but I did think about that too. I was like, wasn't there a wrestler named Roddy the Pied Piper or something? But he was actually I don't know.
He was a bum.
Let's think about it.
Cancel culture.
Point is, R. Kelly was wild for that.
He should be canceled.
But here's the thing. So here's the thing. This is why all that also speaks to why I think cancel culture is fake. Is because
why is it even an argument?
Why is it? It's not. It's not an argument. It's not an argument. So what do we talk about? Cancel him.
Some people is right with him.
Once you find out somebody doing some shit like that, they can't be famous no more. Like
we can't rock with perverts.
You can't do that. But now because we have a name for it and because it's being tossed around so much, we do have this thing where everybody, whenever somebody's mad at somebody, they're like, oh, they're canceled, and it's like. There's that doesn't really make sense because even if somebody like lose their job over something they said, they didn't get canceled, they lost their job and they probably get another one.
Why do dudes always get canceled? You know, when they get caught with like a cheating scandal or something like that, they just automatically get canceled. I mean, I don't know if it's a cheating scandal, but I think it's like the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement like really hurt niggas in the industry, bro. It's like once you got one story that stuck to you, you pretty much have to pack your bag. They still pick and choose who they want to take down.
You think so? Who hasn't been took it down?
I mean, Harvey Weinstein eventually went down, but Bill went down first, and Bill went down hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Bill's.
People really feel some type of way about Bill Cosby. You feel some type of way about Bill Cosby?
Hey, book.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I feel some type. I feel some type of way that they waited so long, and then it was like he got to do his time in his 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying he didn't do what they said he was doing because. It was crazy. The pudding pop and all that was crazy. So who knows what he was doing? They said he was drugging them. Hey, but just the way that things happen, you know, like once one person starts, then it's like all these people come out the woodwork. It's like, where was y'all courage at? I'm not saying that stuff don't like mess people up long term. And it's like it just be so much at one time.
And it's kind of becoming like a weird pattern.
Weird pattern. Look at the
like,
Sean Watson.
Yeah, the Sean Watson. Like, how did the same thing happen with him? Like. One woman come forward, next thing you know, 18.
Bro, but it's a little crazy.
It's like everybody have the same formula.
He had like 40.
Like, why not everybody? Let's go to one conference where everybody came out at once.
yeah. I mean, but Deshaun Watson, so many people, like, he got good people. He got people saying he didn't do it, and he got people saying he did do it. But why do you have over 40 massage therapists?
That's what I'm saying.
Once I seen the number, bro, I'm just like, he's free.
But see, I was talking to someone else about it, and they were saying that that's not true, that he only had about 2 massage therapists, and everybody else is a lie. But who's to say that's a lie, though? Who makes up?
But where are these people coming from? The woodworks, like, that's what be the worst. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but it'd be the worst looking women sometimes.
Nah.
Like, what the, like...
Well, he's not dating these women. He's just getting the old tug and rub.
Listen, bro, I don't care. I don't care. Listen, you gonna be touching me.
You gotta look a certain way.
I'm not like, you don't gotta look good to be my massage therapist, but I'm gonna take it to the next level with you or whatever. Not that I would, but if I'm gonna take you to the next level, then you gotta look great. He just, you know what I'm saying? They out here acting like, even with the It's always. I'm not even going to go into that.
What's that?
Even with the Kobe situation, the chick that accused him of sodomizing or whatever.
Right.
Bro.
But did Kobe?
Bro, did you ever see her?
I did see her a long time ago. I don't really remember.
I just be like, why? Like, why did you do that to anybody? But why do you, like, if you're going to go outside and do what you're doing or whatever, just, I don't know, man. Don't do it, period. But, damn, man. Like, you just make the worst decisions as a whole. So I understand. But, damn, like, you don't got to cancel everybody. Like, nobody's perfect. Like, they try to cancel Kevin Hart when he got caught up, his situation. The Tiger Woods cancel was the worst one ever. Because it's like, yo.
What they try to cancel Tiger for again?
When he got caught cheating with all the women.
Oh,
bro,
right.
His drone was crazy.
But wasn't that was also before they start? That was before it was called cancel culture.
We was in high school.
Yeah, that was cancel. That terminology, cancel culture, is fairly new, but it's not a new concept. That's why I say it's not real.
It's been like that forever. Yeah,
it's been like that forever. Like you get it caught up in a scandal. Motherfuckers don't want to see you for a while. You stay hidden until it's time to,
It's crazy. They did it. There's so many people. Russell Simmons.
Russ. I forgot about Russ. Oh, man. What's going on with Russ?
last time I seen Russell Simmons, he spoke on the DMX death and all that.
Yeah, he kind of... What's crazy about Russell Simmons, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I get why people are like, oh, why it took so long to get Harvey Weinstein. You understand, that man was wildly powerful. He was a successful, powerful man in that world. And I think it's the same thing with Russ. I don't think if Russ is doing something, whether he is or not, he's not going to go down easy. So it's probably a case being built against him when they probably can't find anything that stick. I think the reason why Bill was so easy was because he was so old. And like, you know what I'm saying? He probably wasn't moving like how, you know what I'm saying? When you're a rich, powerful person, you make certain moves that prolong shit. You know what I'm saying? You make certain moves so things don't get too public or things, you're waiting for trial and all that. Bill Cosby was back there and shit. Like,
yo, when he did that joint in the wood, when he did that,
yo, Bill was out of it. They couldn't take Bill down his prime. He was too powerful. They had to wait for he was half senile.
That's crazy.
And crippled.
Do you think none of these people was consensual? Like the stuff they were doing in his time, all the drugs they was doing and all that, somebody had to be consensual. Like, I'm not saying he didn't drug anybody, but I'm saying when he did drug some of these people, they probably was with it because it was so much going on.
It was a different time.
Come on,
it was a different time, and I think a lot of these guys are going down due to the different time.
Right. And
you can say it wasn't appropriate at the time that they were doing it, but it was definitely more accepted. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like it wasn't really a lot of women telling guys no, especially if they already opened the door. Now we live in a society it's like no means no at any point. But at back then, or not even that far ago,
it wasn't. Like, they couldn't get the type of evidence that we can get now.
Yeah, right, exactly.
People can record on their cell phones and stuff like that.
It is what it is, girl.
You get caught up. You get caught up, brother. I mean, no means no, like, by any means.
And I feel like Governor Cuomo, Mr. Cuomo from the New York governor.
Yeah.
I feel like he's getting. I hear from everything I've heard that he did. It sounded like a bunch of just like creepy bullshit, like the shit that like women used to have to just live with because if their boss was a creep, that's what it was. And I'm not saying that's right.
That ain't cool.
It's not cool. It's not. But I mean, it is kind of like I don't know. What's it called? Roosters coming home or some shit like crows come.
Yeah,
some shit. I mean, I guess they got to answer for their crimes that they passed, but. It's just a little. I don't know. I'm a little split on the Cuomo shit because I messed with him before.
I like Cuomo.
I liked him.
I like Cuomo.
And then I start hearing on stuff like, yeah, bullshit.
But you never know, bro. You gotta separate that stuff because you never know. Like, dude might be good on TV. He might be making
exactly.
But outside of his workspace, you creep.
Exactly.
And it's like bro. I'm sure you've been at a job before, and a manager or a supervisor or something like that been a cold creep.
Yeah. Well, I don't know any.
I mean, I don't know any.
Oh, I knew one man.
Nah, I do know something creepy.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm sure it's been like that, bro. And you're like, yo, this dude is a creep, and you just hear little stories, here and there. You like, damn, like this dude really a creep. And then when you finally see it for yourself, you just like, damn.
Do you call it like if like somebody says something real creepy in front of you? Do you call it out, or do you just be like
me?
Yeah,
like to that person?
Yeah.
It depends. Like if it's a person like in charge or something like that, I probably won't say like, "Yo, man, you what?"
You tripping, right? Like, no, exactly.
But it depends.
I was in that situation.
It depends on the magnitude of it. Like if it's something like out of this
remember
world.
when that situation when Trump was first running for president,
Yeah,
and he said to grab him by the pussy thing on the bus, and it didn't do nothing to him. But Billy Bush, he was just laughing, and he got fired. He got canceled. The same thing happened to me. One time I was in a truck with this supervisor at my job. He was just saying some of the craziest ish about some of the girls we were passing on the street that just was like, bruh, like, you out of pocket. Like, and I'm just sitting there like awkwardly laughing, but I'm just thinking like, damn, am I contributing by not saying nothing? But like, what am I supposed to say to this nigga, bro?
It gotta be immediate. It's tough sometimes. Some stuff is like the fact that Trump said that out of his mouth,
right,
is kind of funny. Like it's dead wrong. But like, who says that? Like you're the president. You're about to be the president or whatever. It's terrible. Like, yo, who says it? Like, just thinking about it, I'm like, what the what was he thinking? He was dead serious.
And to be honest, like some of the shit that my supervisor was saying in the truck was pretty funny too. It was just like really like I knew if it was probably in front of some women or certain people, they would definitely feel the opposite way. I mean, some of the stuff even made me feel like, yeesh, I wouldn't have said all that. Like, bro, like, you're kind of out of pocket. But I wasn't like, I mean, I definitely heard worse. I'm not saying like he was saying some of the worst shit I ever heard, but it was just some of the like, you know, the nastier shit. And it really, what took me about it more than anything was the fact that I barely knew him. Like, because sometimes when you hear certain shit from certain people, you're like, oh, that's him being crazy. Yeah. But I'm like, this is my first time really getting to know this guy, and he's like, yeah, look at her ass, bro. If I had, I would. Like, yo,
I had supervisors do that to me before, and it was random because I had been at the job for like a year at that point.
Right.
So I never heard him say nothing out of the ordinary. One day, somebody was walking by.
I ain't catch you off guard when you never heard it from him.
He like as close as me and you is. Like, hey, Dove, you see that ass? I'm like, huh?
Right.
Then he like proceeded to keep talking, and in my mind, like I'm agreeing with him, but at the same time, like, dog.
Bro, you out of pocket.
We don't get down like that for you to be talking like that. I think he got the hint that day though. Like he ain't really tried.
But it was like the way he was. It wasn't like regular catcalling. Like he was saying like.
That's even worse then.
Right. It made it worse because he was like making like political stances. Like, oh, you think you could walk with your ass out, but if I grabbed it. And then I like, you know, just being really like volatile and vulgar. Yeah,
he needs.
I was just thinking like,
chill
man,
out.
Yeah, he needed a chill pill that day, bro. Like, shout out to him.
I don't like hanging with people like that. You never know what the hell is on their mind. Yeah, you might do some shit and think that you're supposed to be in agreement with them about it. Like,
yeah, that's why I was trying not to like. I wasn't agree. I was just kind of like laughing him off, and you know.
I mean, some stuff is funny. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, some it was like I said, it was weird. He was a weird guy.
All in all, though, cancel culture is a myth, bro. Like, I don't. You know, we say we cancel people all the time, but people never really get canceled. It'd be like for a little bit. People pick and choose. The society picks and choose. We the people, we pick and choose. Celebrities pick and choose who they want to cancel. There's plenty of time stuff has happened, and you know people still got support.
A certain part of cancel culture that I'm especially annoyed with is the past finding shit from people past the
tweets from 2009,
old tweets and old
2009.
Bro, please stop, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Please. First of all, if anybody ever try to ask me to apologize for some shit I did said 5 years ago, bro.
Yo, because so much can change.
Like, huh?
Yeah, like so much can change in 5 years.
Yeah, bro. Like so much has changed in 5 years, bro.
Over here,
like
too,
it's crazy how like I mean I don't want to say it's not for a reason. Some of it's for a reason. I get why certain things have been tightened because. Like certain realms of like hate speech and shit like that has gotten out of pocket, but I'm always for a good joke. I like some of my favorite comedies are some of the darkest comedies out there. Like I'm a super bad, my Always Sunny, How High, Friday type of dude. Those are none of that stuff. Like if it was made today, I don't know if any of that stuff be made. That's what have you noticed that we have not been getting like real comedies. Like we get comedies. In a way, but we haven't gotten to like a Step Brothers or
I don't like that movie.
You don't like Step Brothers? What?
I just told somebody literally about 3 days ago. It's like goofy, funny, and I can't really handle that too much.
How many times you tried to watch it?
Oh, 4.
That's a lot of times.
Yeah,
I guess
I've seen it all the way through. After
do you like Judd Apatow movies? Like, do you?
I like Will Ferrell. Like, I like
Okay.
Will Ferrell. Just
You like Talladega Nights?
that's my
That's the. How you like Talladega Nights, but you don't like Step Brothers?
I don't know,
It's
bro.
literally like the
Nah.
same movie, but all right.
God, man. God. Give me some credit.
It's all good. But anyway, yeah, like some of the best comedies came out in the early 2000s. Like one of the best lines, and
Where we going with this?
oh man, can I say it? I don't even
Go
know.
ahead,
But he from Hangover.
Which one?
Like Paige and Doctor, the first one, Paige and Doctor. Yo, that is like one of the funniest bits ever. But we're never seeing nothing like that again, bro. Because it's and I get it. Like I say, I get it, but I hate it.
I don't even know when the last funny movie that I saw. I tried to watch that 20 Minutes of Fame or 2 Minutes of Fame joint with Jay Farrow. It's on HBO Max or something. Cat Williams on there.
I'm lost on that one. I gotta check that out.
It had some funny moments.
I don't know when the last time funny. Like, what's a funny movie? No, this is a funny ass movie right now with Bad Trip.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's funny because the reactions of people
Right.
are real, and I like that aspect of it. But I don't know, bro. Like dark comedies, like raunchy comedies, I think they're a thing of the
What's
past.
the last good stand-up you saw?
That's a
and
good
Stones.
question.
Dave Chappelle, Sticks and Stones.
Yeah, definitely.
But he had
Definitely.
two. He had a couple joints back to back.
Is that the last one he did, Sticks and
think-
Stones? I don't think was Sticks and Stones the last one.
He had something after that.
Yeah, he had something after that. They both were amazing.
Sticks and
though.
Stones was crazy though.
Dave Chappelle is the best comedian of all time, in my opinion.
All time.
Because it's not. He gives you. It's nobody else out there that literally feeds you like something to intake while also making you laugh. Like
So-
you come out of a Dave Chappelle show even viewing certain things different or seeing something that you've probably never seen before, and I think that's a certain type of intelligence that he has
Facts.
and a gift that he has, man. Like I heard he about to step into the podcast game. I'm mad because we can't compete against Dave
I don't
Chappelle.
know, but we
I was just saying, like before he even knew that I would just listen to Dave Chappelle talk, and like that's why it makes sense that he got a podcast. Because who wouldn't want to listen to that man just talk, bro?
I agree, but you putting him over Eddie?
Bro, I put him over everybody. Eddie was not. Eddie was. I mean,
Don't
Eddie
do
was
this.
Eddie, but the
Don't
thing,
do this.
of course, huh?
Don't do this. I don't know what you're about to say.
No, I'm just saying that. No, I'm not going to say. I'm not. I would never disrespect Eddie. I'm not. I'm just saying he's not in that era. Like I didn't grow up on Delirious or all that stuff. By the time I saw that stuff, I was old.
You said Michael Jordan was the greatest, and we didn't grow up in his era, really.
No, I didn't. I said LeBron is the greatest. LeBron is the greatest basketball player of all time to me.
Oh man.
And Dave Chappelle is the greatest comedian of all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember those. We're gonna have to argue that one day.
Yeah.
One episode we're gonna have to come and argue that.
Who's your top comedian of all time? Is it Eddie?
I'm Martin Guy.
Martin? What name a crazy Martin stand up?
Nah,
like,
I wasn't even gonna stop there.
Yo, to keep it up, but like, yo, Chappelle is batting a perfect average, bro. There's not a single trash Chappelle stand up or a single trash Chappelle anything. Dave has been funny in everything he's ever done. It is no such. How dare anybody tell me that one thing Dave Chappelle did and he was trash? There's no such thing.
My number one comedian, Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac.
Rest
Oh
in
my
peace,
God.
Bernie Mac.
R.I.P. to the guy Bernie Mac.
And it's like, yo, man, that Def Comedy Jam shit that he was doing when we was young.
Bernie
We can go and watch it on YouTube now and all that King's Comedy.
Bernie, what's unfortunate about Bernie is that he died at a time where I feel like he could have got his flowers a lot better if he died
Facts.
now. Not only would we possibly have got more stuff from Bernie if he died now, but also he would have been celebrated differently. Like he died in what, 2000 and...
It was at least like, I feel like it was 10 years ago.
10 years ago. So it was like before we could really celebrate him on Twitter or
these young bucks too,
Instagram
man.
or like I just like, and not that we can't still do that now, You know, you could still like celebrate
good
him
roles,
now,
too.
but I just feel like if he had died now, bro, a lot of his stuff would have got to blow up again. A lot of people, because I feel like a lot of the younger crowd don't really know how big Bernie Mac was. Like his stuff is like kind of buried in the past, and maybe somebody need to do something like an anniversary or
like I watch his old show, the Bernie Mac show.
The Bernie Mac show.
I'm looking at his shirts and all that slacks. You know, we older now, so we think a little differently. I be like, damn, that shirt was sharp, man.
Bernie had the shit on. Yeah,
the fro going on. You know what I'm saying?
Bernie had that stuff.
You know, later on, that's when he got sick. Later in the seasons, though, you could tell. You know, his eyes started to look a little crazier and all that. And he had more weight on him, but you know, the whole time he was doing his thing. Like rest in peace, Bernie Mac. He's a hell of a comedian for me. That's my number one right there.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, that's my number one right there.
Shout out to Chappelle though.
Shout out to Chappelle. We gonna get there.
That's my guy.
Did they ever try to cancel him though? Kinda, sorta.
You can't cancel. Yo, you know why? I don't think anybody ever did try to cancel Chappelle. You know why? Because literally, he makes sure everything he says makes sense. Even if he's being offensive, you cannot say he hasn't said anything wrong. Like, what did he say? What have Dave Chappelle ever said that was wrong? Like, dead up wrong. Like, he knows how to do that. That's the genius of his joke writing. Even when he was coming at the LGBT.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
That was probably his most controversial segment of the latest stand-ups. But it was like so much realness that I don't think he really got the backlash that people thought that he should get.
Yeah, he did
because
his thing
it's
on
like
there.
even people in that
sure.
community could see what Dave Chappelle was saying at times.
So it wasn't a real big uproar, you're saying?
I don't think it was. I remember he followed up by saying that he got like some pretty bad letters. Yeah. And he actually read one of them or told us about one of them, or something about how a transgender woman had like walked out or something like that. And like I said, bro, it's crazy because
it's comedy though. I mean, like people go to comedy shows and can't handle some of the stuff that's said, but in comedy, anything goes.
And here's the biggest thing about cancel culture,
like
about the internet, that I want people to understand. A lot of times when we're talking about these things that are trending, they're not even trending by most, or not even half. What is it? Like less than half of the population of this country.
Yeah. True.
You know, we'll see something trending and it got 20,000 retweets. And we'll be like, everybody thinks this. Like, nigga, it's 20,000 retweets. That's a small percentage. So it's like all these people that like we let how many people are even on Twitter? It's not even the same amount of people on Twitter there are on Facebook, but we let Twitter contradict everything we think is important to going on in America.
Yeah, Twitter taking off.
Whatever's trending on Twitter, that's what we think America is doing.
Fell off for a minute, but it's back
it came back strong, but it's still not strong enough to say that these are the percentages of how people think, though, right?
It's not.
Like it's not. Like not so next time, like when I had brought this up with you before, and it's an old example, but it's what I have for right now. It's in my head. I remember when the girl Simone or one of the gymnasts a couple of years back didn't have her hair done.
Simone Biles.
I think it might have been Gabby. I think it might have been Gabby first. And I remember everybody just complaining, or not complaining, but going up to bat for her and saying nobody better not talk about her hair. And it became this whole movement about people not talking about her hair. And all I could think was, who's the ones talking about her hair? Because all I see are the motherfuckers talking about everybody against everybody talking about hair. So y'all gave the energy to the small percentage of people that was paying attention to something. Whoever was paying attention to a young black woman creating history was a effing nut. You're a nut, bro. You're a nut. You probably come from a family from nuts. Because if you're worrying about a young lady's hair while she's literally creating fucking history, bro, nobody deserved to get that person attention. Nobody. Why did we give that person, even those people, whoever those people were?
A lot of times this stuff come up, bro. I'm confused, like
who are we talking to?
Like, who said this?
Who said this? They'd be so outraged, and the outrage be so much louder than everything else. I'd be like, where is the original tweet? Like, where is the person that we're mad at? Like, who said something about her hair? Who said something about this person? Like, it's just a lot of times we just be so ready to jump on things that shouldn't have attention in the first place. KD, can we talk about KD real quick? I have a bone to pick with the KD nerd.
Oh, man.
Yo.
Oh, man.
He's another one, bro. He's one of the people that pays attention to small. Like, everybody thinks this man is the greatest basketball player. Next to Brown. Well, some people actually put him above.
You're talking about playing today.
Playing today, okay. Right? But he will respond to the smallest flea who says something otherwise.
The egg is they.
That makes no sense to me, bro. Like, you get into a whole shouting match with
it didn't when it first started. When
Michael Rappaport?
I didn't understand it.
Huh?
The burner page is what got me, but I didn't understand why he would respond to people at some point in the beginning. But now I look at it a little slightly differently because it shows that he does have humility.
It does. I think it shows that he's sensitive as fuck.
No, that's known. Like he's sensitive as hell.
Like, he's sensitive as hell,
and that's how he chooses to carry it. But but he is too sensitive and emotional, whatever you want to call it. It's like you can't say nothing about him.
I feel like he's not happy. I feel like when somebody let everything go, like, I feel like the happiest people let shit roll on their back. That's why I know, like, that's why I aspire to be, well, not aspire to be, but I look up to people like Jay-Z, because Jay-Z, people that say everything about this man in the world, you don't never hear that motherfucker responding nothing. You know why? Because he's happy with his life.
Hell yeah.
And I don't think KD is. I think KD thought he was gonna be happy going to get those rings from the best team in the world, and he knows that he's a fraud, and he can't deal with the fact that he's a fraud.
You think KD a fraud?
He is a fraud, bro. As a champion, he's not a fraud in the sense of how good he is. I believe KD is as good as everybody says he is. It's KD's attitude that makes me don't like him. I'm not a fan of him because how he acts. I'm not a fan of how you went to Golden State.
I forgave him.
I'm not why? He did I can't forgive him for the things that I was mad about in the first place, which was this motherfucker about to go and win the easiest rings ever. And that's exactly what happened. So what is there to forgive him about? He did the exact nut shit that we thought was nutty. He won. It was nutty.
It was nutty when it happened. He won he did win those rings pretty easily.
Yeah.
But I listened to his reasoning more and more. Like he wanted change, man. I feel why he won.
No,
for me it was never that
it's 30 teams.
It was never that he left OKC. It was that he went to the Warriors.
Exactly. So don't tell me you want change, bro. There were 30 other teams to make a change too, bro.
Sometimes people need that easiness, though. I mean, look how it was. Them 2 chips, man. You talking about you playing with the best shooter ever, and then the second best shooter ever, probably. I don't know.
And for that, I'm about to say that your rings are valid, or that you're the go for that.
I'm not with that.
Here's the thing I'm saying. Everybody will say, "Oh, Bron did it too." Not one of those teams that Bron ever won a championship could have did it without him.
Hell no.
Not at all.
My thing with KD, I think a lot of like me, is the carrying of the team. I never see him break through as the person that carried the team to the chip to win the chip. It was never like a breakthrough. When he won with the Warriors, it was like, all right, they going up against the Cavs. They got Bron and Kyrie. Shit over with. Like, we knew what was about to happen.
Right.
You know, as much as Bron wanted to play good and all that, we knew it was going to happen.
I just think KD needs to get happy. That's all I want to say.
If he wouldn't win in Brooklyn, you think he's going to be
Stop responding to people that their opinion literally don't, you say they don't mean shit to you, but yet you give them all the energy.
They don't take accountability either. A lot of people, like, when they do this stuff on the internet, they don't take accountability.
What do you mean? Like the people who talk about KD?
Like him. He don't take accountability. He just be like, oh, F it. You know what I'm saying? KD I'm KD. I can say what I want.
Say what I want. Do what
I don't think he should have been fined though, $50,000. Because Michael Rappaport, he shouldn't.
I ain't gonna hold you. Mike was
that.
corny for that.
Because he doing it to people
like
all the time. Yeah, it's snitching.
Yeah. That was nuts, bro.
It's nuts.
You had to do all that. But at the end of the day, like, KD, you also had to say, KD had to give him the opportunity.
Well, he should.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he didn't have to go to the white.
People said, why you answer a question and you responded with, when I see you, I'm gonna smack you and spit in your face. First of all, I don't believe KD. Like, for one, like, I hate when, I hate when niggas talk tough and they like a basketball player or something like that.
He got
like, bro, you're not.
arms.
And it's like, and you're talking to, and then who you're talking to. That's another reason why I can't respect that. It's true because you're talking to Michael Rappaport. Am I supposed to be oppressed that if you smack or spit in Michael? What you do to Draymond? Draymond called you a bitch in front of the entire stadium and the entire world, bro. Michael Rappaport called you out in a DM. Draymond called you a bitch in front of everybody. Did you tell him you was going to spit in his face? Because I would have smacked that nigga for that. But what did you do? Nah, bro. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, niggas want to show certain energy to certain niggas, bro.
It's definitely
KD's
true.
whack. KD's whack. I'm sorry. He's an excellent basketball player, but everything about that nigga otherwise is whack. He's whack, bro.
Damn. Hell of a basketball player.
Hell of a basketball player, though. And he's gonna flame my Sixers in the playoffs, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Sixers and 7. Remember I said this a couple months now. Remember I said that. 6 and 7. Well,
I hope so. I hope so, bro. Because
Yeah.
KD, one thing about KD, I do respect his game.
He gonna get
he's
to a
beast.
bucket. There's nothing
He
you can
get
do about
to
it
a
either.
bucket. But I just wish his attitude would change, and maybe I wouldn't dislike him so much. But it started with the Warriors. It ended with everything he said after that.
All right, so I mean, pretty much we got into everything we wanted to talk about.
Episode 2 is down. It's in the books.
Yeah. Did you have a good weekend?
No. Well, yeah, I had a good weekend because it was a weekend. You don't gotta work, so that's good. But I was a little stressful. I had to get a lot of stuff done.
We gonna make it happen though. We good. I had a good weekend. I would say nice chill. I got everything I needed to do done this weekend. My grandma's birthday was today. Happy birthday, grandma.
Happy birthday, grandma.
Big 84.
Right.
This is the only grandma I have left right now. So I just try to stay close as much as I can,
right.
and do all I can. Because, you gotta cherish her while she's still here, you know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
It's the only one I got right now, and I'm just glad she got to see it this morning.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
that's awesome.
It's a good feeling,
Happy birthday.
84 is a lot of
Grandma
long
Dove,
time.
happy birthday.
No, not Dove.
Oh.
That's the other grandma.
Other grandma.
This is my mom, so she's good. So I try to tell people all the time when I personally post her, happy birthday, Grandma Dove. Like, no, Dove is on my dad's side, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Feeling good about where we're going in the direction of the podcast.
Right.
We also got an interview coming up real soon.
Real soon. Look
well,
out for
actually
that.
this week, I believe. So we're going to give y'all some more details.
We're going to give you a little bit on it.
We're going to give y'all some more details on the gram.
Yeah.
Once
also
again.
get the details of the next podcast on the gram.
Podcast is going
Follow
on
us on the gram.
also.
Big Steppers.
The Instagram, John?
Yeah. Just Big Steppers.
Follow us
Instagram.
on the gram
IG.
at BIGSTEPPA podcast, PODCAST, Big Stepper Podcast.
Yeah.
You want to give your at name?
Nope.
Nope, not today.
Not today.
Not today. Fly with a dove. You know me, all right?
Jada Bull. Follow me on Jada Bull. I need some more followers, man. I started my
Follow
account. It was the worst decision I ever made because I can't get none of my followers to stick. No. So please help me. I go up like 5 and then go down like 6. Please.
I'm throwing them a shout out this week, all right? All right,
somebody help me get some followers.
Appreciate everybody that listened to the first episode. I hope y'all listen to the second one. Tell somebody else about us. Had them listen to the second one and go back and listen to the first one also, all right?
Thank you, everybody who came out and supported the first episode. We hit 100 in no time.
Yeah,
we hit 100 on the what was it? Spotify in a couple of days, and then we did 100 views on the YouTube in a week. I did not imagine that. I thought it was going to be struggle bars, and it's a little bit of a struggle. I would like the numbers to go a little faster, but
the numbers might sound small for most people, but we appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
We're gonna keep working. All right, we're going for 200 on the next one.
Subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe to our YouTube. We got that on our Instagram page, Big Stepper Podcast. All right, that's on YouTube, and we have a Twitter, the same @ name. Follow us on that also. I'm gonna be tweeting there daily. Okay. Thanks for showing us love. Thanks for viewing us. Thanks for watching us, whatever you want to call it, listening before you go to work, while you at work, after work. All right, y'all have a good one.